6 years ago, we did one of these, and there was maybe 35, 40 people there. And we had it at a country club. And the country club had never done a tech event. They had done weddings and bar mitzvahs and confirmations, but they hadn't done an event for a technology company. So they didn't know what to expect. So when the event started, we did breakout sessions and all that stuff, and I walked out of one of the sessions, and the general manager came over to me and said, "Andy, you're not going to believe this, but Alex and her whole crew are on the practice screen with their high heels, puncturing holes across the whole practice screen, taking pictures." So I got letters from weeks on end from the Greens Committee of the club that we're no longer welcome at the tech event to have an event at Edgewood, so thank you. So first off, I want to welcome you. This journey is a special one for me personally, as you all can imagine, operating and leading a company of professionals that work with clients like you guys. It's an honor of a lifetime. And the fact that you've chosen to spend some time with us on a Thursday afternoon in an old monastery that I hope is somewhat memorable means the world to me. I'm not big on slides to start off, but I'm going to try to stay disciplined here. So a quick reminder, for those of you that are new to Lotame, those of you that have been on our platform for years, I want to take you through a couple slides about the business and where we're going, and definitely have this be something that will impact you in some way. So a quick reminder, the business is a DMP. The platform we operate is a data management platform. The middle piece of that is a data exchange. 4 billion identities, cookies, and device IDs that are mapped to your first-party data. And the third piece is all of those first two things are now mapped to connected TVs. I want to repeat that. The cross-device methodology works across all three of those. And it's important because some of you are using one or the other. You should be using all three, or will be soon. I want to take you through a little bit about when we started to where we are today. In 2006, when we were the first data management platform, everything was about better targeting of media, better targeting of advertising. Can you target a female this age? Can you target somebody that loves finance? And we amassed a data set and let folks target, mostly for display. Well, a lot's changed. In 2018, I want you to think of terms like customer journey, attribution, personalization, modeling, scoring, programmatic, the advent of what happened since 2006, and your use cases of how you've used data and how you've used our platform has evolved to the point that it's staggering. And data sits at the forefront of that. And these guys haven't made it any easier for you. They've put up these walls, but I have news for you. As Dave Danziger says, there's no gardens behind those walls. They're just high walls. And it makes it tougher and tougher for you to get something back, for you to get service, and for you to work with them. And it makes your data more important. So what happens when the walls get higher? What happens when the marketing clouds want to keep all customer data behind those walls? And what happens when Google and Facebook turn off ad log ingestion? What happens in a world where 80% of your customers are spending time there, more time than anywhere else, and you have no visibility? Well, I'll tell you what happens. Your first-party data becomes a lot more important. How you use your first-party data and where you let it go and how you partner with others becomes super important. Second-party data. I can't tell you the amount of people in this room that are working together, collaborating, that were once fierce competitors. We have publishers that are working together through our syndicate product to share second-party data for targeting and analytics across platform. And it's important that you know that, because in a world where Google and Facebook have these huge walls, you're going to need to partner with others to supplement your data. And of course, third-party data. Third-party data has evolved, and we've evolved with it. You're going to hear a lot about precision audiences. You're going to hear a lot about us focusing more on quality than scale. What was once the biggest data exchange, we're shrinking our footprint, because what we heard from our customers was performance and better analytics matter more than size. So we had a big learning, which I'll cover for you now. We've had a big learning about success. We have 400 customers on the DMP, and we have over 1,000 customers that buy our data. But success means different things to different people. It means different things to your organization and how you judge and measure success. Simply put, I want you to measure us, and I want to be measured on whether the DMP is ROI positive. Are we hitting your KPIs? Are we delivering you positive revenue, or are we a tax on the business? I want to be the first to tell you right now, there's 1 million people that are going to come before you and try to sell you a platform. But if in this next year of your customer journey of working with Lotame, we are not accretive, or we are not cash flow positive for you, or we're not having an impact on your organization, you shouldn't work with us. And you're hearing that from me for the first time. I want to be judged on performance, and I'll share with you how I want to do that. So here's what some of the things we hear we want a DMP to do. We want a DMP to unify data for us across all these different places. We have 9 business units. We have mobile data. We have desktop. We have TV. We have third party. We have social. We want to bring it all together to get a single view of our customer. We want to win new business using a DMP. We want to target the right audience so we get better performance for our clients. We want to extend our audience programmatically in places that we can make more money and get a better result. We want to personalize our experience. Huge. We want to find new and better customers, and we want to understand the customer journey from impression or from the beginning of the journey through the final sale, and not give everything to Google and Facebook when it comes to conversions. This is some of the stuff we hear. There's about 20 more, but it's critical that you see some of these because they align with most of where you are. And here's the challenge. The challenge is there's no internal buy-in across business unit. We don't have the resources or the expertise or the talent to execute on the things on the left. Corporate alignment is huge. Strategy. Changing the way you think culturally about a business is no small feat. And in a world where data sits at the center, your customer data is the centerpiece of the business, I can't overemphasize that corporate alignment needs to happen. Strategic vision of the company, and understanding and executing upon analytics and insights. How do we use deep knowledge of our customers to get a better result? So, the challenges on the right are pretty common across business unit. One that I will share that we didn't really talk about is talent exit. I can't tell you the amount of times in this room, and you guys have some of you in this room have been with us through multiple companies, but where we will help train a team or a person or a group, and suddenly that group or that person's not there anymore, it creates a huge challenge and a huge amount of frustration. I want to address all of these things so that you leave this conference today with a firm deliverable from us. I want to remove all those things on the right. I probably will not be able to change for you your corporate alignment. I probably will not be able to change for you your strategic vision as a business. But for those of you in this room, the fact that you've chosen to be here, you already are change agents. You're change agents at your company. And that's important to note. You don't have to be a CEO. You don't have to be the head of strategy, because you're sitting on all the customer data. So this is what we are. We are a DMP that manages your first-party data. We train you to manage your first-party data. We create taxonomies with you. We help you push those audiences to programmatic. We help you and we guide you, but most of all, we teach, and we're there to service. And I think many of you would agree in the industry, the one common theme that I've heard over time is, Andy, your people are the best. If technology is ubiquitous and everything is even in technology, and how many times have people come before you in the last year since this conference and tried to sell you a platform? They've told you, you just need another tech platform in your company. You need another way to manage data. You need a better programmatic platform. You need a different analytics platform. You need a social platform. I know it's overkill. I don't want to be a DMP anymore. I want to drop the term DMP. Because if we're not ROI positive, nothing matters. So we are evolving effective today. And that bridge is because each one of those things in the middle, those little lines that lead up toward the knight, for those of you that play chess, those things are different ways of using our platform, which you'll soon see, that drive success. But here's what I realized after 10 years of doing this. You have the best of intentions when you sign with any platform. But there's a huge gap between expectations and actually driving positive outcomes and success. And it's no one's fault. People change, strategy changes, Google and Facebook change, your customers change, technology changes, and it's too hard to navigate. It causes frustration. So we are launching what's called Lotame 4.0. And what Lotame 4.0 is I am literally saying to the entire world, we're not selling you a platform. We are not going to walk into anyone's office and we are not going to showcase the greatest new tech that we have and tell you that we have TV or we have data stream or we have the best third-party data or we have the greatest analytics or we have the best way for you to capture first-party data. I don't want to do that anymore. So as part of your customer journey with us, as part of your ongoing journey with us, I want to put the things in front of my company that everyone has told me for 10 years, and that is resource as a service, people as a service, execution as a service. It sounds crazy, because a lot of venture-backed companies, you know what they say? Oh, it's going to kill your multiple. You're going to have less margin. Now I'm going to tell you the dirty little secret. I'd rather have half the amount of customers and be 2 times more successful. You won't hear that at too many conferences. I want to have half the amount of customers be 2x more successful. Because being break-even in this world is not okay. Your companies aren't running a break-even. Our bigger partners are hugely profitable. And your biggest asset is the IP you own, your employees, and your customer data. And if you're not creating a cash flow positive, shame on you and shame on us. So effective immediately, what we're going to do is we are going to roll out 4.0 to each of you, which is understanding what you're trying to execute on and rolling out a formal plan that you can then take back to your organization and say, the Lotame people are going to do it for us. And we're going to give it to you in the format you want. Oh, can I go backwards? How do I go back? Red. Colorblind. So these are the types of things that are being asked of us. Can you send a data-driven audience into our ad server, Audience Optimizer? We don't care about all this data, Andy. I want 20 audiences a month that will tell you who they are. We want you to build those audiences and send them to DFP. Andy, we need to do cross-device across all of our platforms and push those things into our buying channels programmatically. We need better use of your data exchange. We need to understand which third-party data partners we should be using that drive performance. We need to operate data stream, which is the fire hose of the data exchange, focused on your business. We need to categorize our information better. Can we start over and create a whole new taxonomy and ways we collect and manage our data? Andy, we need sell sheets for our sales team. We need to understand insights and give them to our clients about their data and our data. We need to onboard through LiveRamp or Newstar all of this offline data for our customers and our subscription data. Andy, we need to connect with others. We need other publishers to share their data and analytics with us in a world where Google and Facebook are taking a lion's share of every new dollar. These are the things that we're going to execute with you and for you. But we need to get one step deeper to understand the strategy of what you're trying to do. This is much more consultative. And what Lotame 4.0 and Lotame Services is, simply put, is delivering upon success. That's our mission. It's delivering on success. Because at the end of the day, there's too many companies out there pushing software. It all sounds great when it's in a demo, doesn't it? When you're in that meeting and you're standing there and a guy like me tells you, we're gonna do this for you and here's our demo, it's so cool. But there's this gap in execution. Everybody knows it. Everybody. And we're gonna break down that gap, effective immediately. So when you go back to your organizations, if you will jump on the phone with one of your CS reps or myself and help us understand your strategy, we will come back to you with a customized plan on resource as a service, execution as a service, people as a service, not software. Here's the key takeaways. The industry has changed forever. I just came from a 3-week trip across Europe and Asia. If you don't think GDPR is coming here, I got news for you. I hope you're all reading up on it, because it's going to change the way you operate your businesses, and not just from a data management standpoint. A year from today, there will be changes, whether they're self-inflicted by the industry, but those walls are getting higher. And your access to data is going to shrink. You have to get better at utilizing first-party data and creating partnerships with those, specifically in this room. The second one is, there is a way to rise above the marketing clouds and the walled gardens. There is a way. In a world where data is becoming, your customer information is free flow. I want to focus on this third one for 1 second because it's important. When you sit in a marketing cloud meeting or a meeting with Google and Facebook, they will be able to tell any of your customers that they can do everything behind their cloud or their wall. They can do attribution, they could do CRM management, they could do analytics. Those are called products. I have news for you. Your data, your customer's data, is not a product. It's a living, breathing, evolving thing. To treat it as a product is to bastardize one of your most important assets. And that's why at Lotame, I will push your data, our company will push your data anywhere. There's this thing called APIs today where the free flow of information should be completely equal. If you want to send your data to Adobe, perfect. Google, perfect. Facebook, perfect. Crux, great. Oracle, fantastic. We're the platform to facilitate that. The others cannot say that because they want to keep you behind a wall, but your customers are not behind a wall. Your customers are watching Netflix. Your customers are watching over the top. Your customers are doing more on different platforms than they ever have. And it's important on you to understand that. And that's the key differentiator when you go back to organizations. Strategy and execution of your first-party data. Lastly, bridging the gap between tech and success. I am willing to give back some of our profitability to my customers for them to be successful. You very rarely hear that. I am willing to give back and invest in our customers to be more successful. And why are we doing that? I was at a conference 2 weeks ago, and the entire panel was frustrated. They said, we have all these platforms, publishers, agencies, said we have all these platforms internally, but we can't make them work, we can't sync them, we're not getting positive ROI, but we're keeping up with the Joneses. We know that we have it and our competitors have it, therefore we have to have it. And it was a slap in the face. So when you go back to your organizations, the one thing I will ask you is, come up with what those 1, 2, or 3 things that you want to be judged on. What are those 1, 2, or 3 things that we can help you deliver? And what you're going to find out is you won't have a software anymore. You'll have a partner. And I think you'll agree that our people are our biggest asset. Everybody that's dealt with our Lotame folks, from product to engineering to CS, has dealt with a high-quality person. And now those people are going to be trained and focused on executing for you. They're not going to be focused on internal stuff. We're going to focus them on making sure that you're successful. So one of the panels today, before I get into this next panel, one of the panels today is being led by a combination of our customers, IBM and Funware. And I encourage you to pay special attention because they have set up their business for success around data. They have set up the processes, the people, the organization, and the strategy to be successful. And I encourage you to sit on that panel. And this next panel is on data quality, because this is the hot button issue that is going to have a material difference on your business in a world where GDPR is happening, where the footprint of data is getting smaller, how to manage toward high quality data. So again, thank you so much for coming. I really appreciate it. We'll be around all day, and thanks for being a part of this wild ride.